How are you?
Doing all right. How are you?
All right, thank you. What were your thoughts on seeing Brian Robinson back on the field?
It's exciting. It's exciting. I think everybody got excited seeing him, just obviously, knowing what he went through and how quickly he's already back on the field. That is definitely a blessing for sure. But, I mean, who he is, what he brings, the energy he brings, the type of player he is, I think everybody's excited just to see him out there running around again.
For yourself, as you go back and watch that game and looking at your last couple of weeks, how would you assess your play? And just from your perspective, what more can you do or different things maybe can be done?
Yeah, I mean, keep getting better. That's the biggest thing is there's plays out there that I could have made and definitely missed some and some different things I could do to help this team and keep drives going and all these things. And, yeah, just trying to keep getting better, keep getting more consistent, and find ways to stay on the field and convert some third downs and different things like that. Yeah, wasn't my best, but you know, that's the beauty of this league is turn the page real quick and you're on to the next.
Carson, it's only going to week 5 now. Looks like you're going to have probably 3 different offensive linemen starting that you since week 1, and not to mention we're on center number 3 at least. Considering this, you know, pass protection has been one of the issues. How do you help everybody get on the same page and ramp up, knowing, you know, that you have a lot of different new guys?
Yeah, that's the crazy part of this league is there are injuries and things happen and things change and you got to adjust on the fly sometimes in game and week to week and all that. And you know, the beauty of it is I've seen these guys since OTAs through training camp and how they all compete, you know, and so nothing but confidence in those guys filling in and nothing but confidence in coaches getting them right and getting them ready. And I know they'll do a great job. And for me, I can just execute at a high level and you know, get the ball out when I need to get the ball out and pick and choose my battles to, you know, to extend plays and those types of things. But, you know, I think we'll be in a good spot there.
And looks like Jahan could miss some time. You guys have developed a pretty good chemistry. He's got 4 touchdowns already. How difficult is that, I guess, to potentially have to move forward without him for a little bit? And for you specifically, like, what does that kind of take away from the passing game?
Yeah, we'll see on that regard in regards to Jahan. But obviously he's a playmaker. He's a playmaker, plays fast, does a lot for us on the offensive side. But you know, if he's not ready to go, again, same kind of thing as the O-line. You know, nothing but confidence in the guys that we have. We feel that we have some very good depth at that position and guys that can step up and make plays and fill in and do a great job. So we'll see what happens with him. You know, if he's out there, obviously we'll all be excited. But if not, we have a ton of confidence in the guys filling in.
Hey, Carson, with that, the changes in having confidence in your depth, do you have to have more patience, and just where is your patience level heading into week 5?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously we know the skid, so to speak, that we've been on, and we got to find a way to win. And you know, patience only lasts so long. You got to find ways to convert, stay on the field, score touchdowns, you know, score points, win some ball games. And but there's no sense of panic. There's no sense of chaos around here. You know, it's we're going into week 5. You know, we know kind of how we played, and it wasn't up to our standards, but at the same time, I know everybody in that locker room has a ton of confidence. We've seen spurts of what we're capable of, and for us it's just now, can we go be consistent and do it? And we know the sense of urgency that there is, but there's no panic by any means.
Carson, I don't know if it was your first time passing to Brian Robinson. It was just the first time we saw it as the media perspective, but you threw that first pass to Brian at the beginning of practice. Can you kind of take us back to that moment and seeing him running that route, that pass, and him catching it and seeing him back actually?
Just today?
Yes. Today.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think everybody, you know, we start our practice. I think when you guys come out there, we're warming up, and then next thing you know, we're with the running backs, and it's pretty much how we start our weeks with the running backs, throwing them routes and everything. So I know I was excited running over there, seeing number 8 out there ready to go, and I know the other guys were as well. So, again, you think back for the couple weeks he's been through, and it's a lot bigger than football, and it's it's real life. And so to know that he's out there running, again, I said it earlier, but that is a total blessing, and I know he's excited for it, and we're excited for it. But sometimes those moments you kind of have to remove yourself from football and just realize how much bigger this is, and we're grateful that he's out there, he's healthy, and he's looking good.
This Titans defense twice last year. What are your thoughts about going against that front that includes like Jeff Simmons and Danico Autry, players like that?
Yeah, it's a good team. It's a good team. obviously, very good defense. They're coached well. They fly around. They make a lot of plays. Their front, like you mentioned, is very talented. And, we feel we've gone up against some really good fronts lately. So I'm confident the guys will be ready for that. But, no, it's a very good team, very disciplined on that side of the ball with kind of their zone drops and how they want to be in the right spots. And so for us, it's just about execution. It's about execution, playing faster than they are, and being able to be efficient. And so I look forward to that matchup. But again, it's a great defense. They do some really good things. Like you said, I saw them twice last year. It's the same defense, same coordinator, same style. So I know we got a tall task, but it'll be fun. I'm excited for it.
And also Kevin Byard, the guy who is good in coverage, but also can play close to the line of scrimmage as well. What are your thoughts about going up against him again?
Yeah, Kevin Byard, he's a heck of a player. He makes things difficult. Got to always know where he's at, and, he really seems like the leader of the defense over there, at least as far as playmaking in the secondary. And, he does a really good job. And competed against him twice last year. He got me a couple times, and so I look forward to seeing him and competing against him. But no, he's a guy you got to be aware of, and he kind of gets that defense in the right position, and he does a really good job. So it'll be a fun challenge.
4 weeks in, quarter point of the season. Where do you feel you're at just in terms of grasping the offense and maybe room to grow within what you know now?
Yeah, as far as that goes, I feel really good. With Coach Turner, and just every week game planning is different in the sense of it's a different defense, different mentality, different scheme. We got to be ready for someone new every week. So it's been good, kind of the back and forth, and just how we develop game plans and how we want to attack defenses. And for us as players, we just got to execute better. But I do feel good from that side of things with the game planning and feeling ready to go every single week.
Fastest rate of the season so far, like your season. How much of that was just game flow, game plan versus you actively trying to get the ball out faster than?
Are you talking last game?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. I think it was just definitely the game plan. It was the game plan. It was kind of the way the defense was structured. I think we threw a lot more screens than normal too, so that obviously those quick screens, those quick passes, things kind of get out. So that I think can probably be deceiving sometimes. But again, it was a good defense, and we wanted to be efficient, stay ahead of the chains, and get the ball out. And again, I thought we did an okay job. But again, the penalties and the things that killed us, that really stalled drives that we wish we could redo.
And Ron has mentioned how the run game can open up the passing game. Just wanted to get your perspective on that. How do you think Brian Robinson's return will help that, but also just a strong running game in general can help what you want to do?
Yeah, I think a strong running game always can help make things tougher on defenses, and I think at the same time it's kind of a week-by-week thing in terms of what defenses are preparing to stop, but there's no other way to put it than a strong run game makes life easier for everybody. And so again, I thought there were some good things we did in the last game to show our ability to run the ball and stick to it and all of those things. And we just kind of cost ourselves with some penalties, some mistakes. I made some mistakes, so some of those things we can clean up and be better. But yeah, the run game is a big part of what we did last week and what we need to keep doing going forward.
Logan and Terry have noted how your demeanor has stayed the same the past couple of weeks despite the struggles. Why is that important as a quarterback to stay even-keeled?
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, there's frustrating moments in a game. There's frustrating moments in a season. There's frustrating moments when you come in on Monday and see plays you could have made. We got some jazz music. No, there's definitely frustrating moments. But, at the end of the day, you got to go forward. You got to go forward. You got to make the next play. And I think that's what good teams need to be able to do, because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have bad plays. But you got to remain confident in yourself, remain confident for the guys around you, and have confidence in the guys around you if, they make a mistake or this and that and the other. And so that's how I think you progress, and that's how you get better and go forward. And by no means am I perfect in that regard. I try to stay even keel in the highs and the lows, but there are moments of frustration and this, that, and the other that you gotta wade through and try to be the same going forward.
And one play from the Cowboys game, not to harp on it, but the intentional grounding, the first one with Parsons kind of coming down on you, just what happened there? Were you trying to extend? Is that a play maybe next time you'll throw it away and kind of live for the next down?
Yeah, definitely throw it away a little earlier. Get it past the line of scrimmage. Obviously was trying to, but yeah, get it out of my hands a little bit quicker there. Obviously trying to hang on to it, try and get a receiver to break. Should have just got rid of it earlier.
What are a couple things that you guys can do to make the play action game more effective?
Yeah, I mean it's a very broad question, but at the same time, it's a great question. I mean, I think we look at that every week. You know, we look at, you know, and again, every single defense has a different approach, has a different mentality, has a different scheme, and so the way you approach that is different every single week. What are the runs we like this week? Well, how do we complement that? How do we, you know, all of those things go into it. But again, I think it goes back to the question earlier. I think the run game, being efficient and being solid and being explosive, I think can kind of open up all of that. And so being able to be committed to the run, and which I think we did a good job last week, just sustaining it, I think can kind of make that everybody's life easier in that regard. So again, every single week it's different. It's a game plan thing. Some weeks it's going to hit. Some weeks, you know, they're going to cover it up. But you try and scheme it up as best you can based on how defenses want to play.
When you think about how the offense can get better, I know committed to the run game, being able to complement that. Are there other bigger pieces that we're missing, or what are the other steps, I guess, that you feel like you guys should take?
Yeah, I think some of the bigger things is just the consistency from all of us and the consistency in execution. And, you know, I would be the first to say I can and will be better in that regard as well. This being disciplined, you know, some of the mistakes, some of the mental errors, some of the things that definitely cost us last game. I think a lot of those things probably overshadowed the things we were doing, because all of a sudden you're in 2nd and 15, and it's hard against a good defense to live in that situation, or 3rd and long. It's hard. And so I think some of those just simple things of just being consistent in our execution, but also just being disciplined, can make a lot of those things kind of they can overshadow a lot of things. So if we can clean those things up, I think we'll be in a good place.
All right. Thanks, Carson.
Thank you, guys.
Apologize for the